What is up, everyone? I'm going to start basically a couple of videos along the way on my channel called Pedal Builder Reacts, as well as Amp Builder Reacts. And that's where I sort of take an observational look into either virtually or physically, like this, and kind of going through what I think and what I observe on these pedals or whatever I'm reacting to, right? So that's the react part of this. So here in front of me is the Jumblestomp Continuum pedal, which is to mimic the tones. And if you're a John Mayer fan, you're going to recognize this design right off the bat of the Continuum album. My personal favorite, Bluesbreaker, Keeley Katana, and then the TS10, the Ibanez TS10 circuit in here. Super cool stuff. Jake is a good online acquaintance of mine, friend, if you will. And this is his pedal at jumblestomp.com. So let's go right into it here. I'm going to kind of go through the high. I like high torque knobs. It looks like, or feels like, Jake is using them here. I just like how they stay in place. Very nice. Good job, Jake. Feels like the Katana one is a little softer. That's all right, but they're not speed knobs like some folks like on their guitars, which is good. So they're all going to stay in place, through vibrations and whatever. Feels good. Good pick on that. Switches feel solid. They're not moving side to side. They're very good switches. They are the longer bat kind, so you can see that everything sort of lines up at the top. Me personally, I like the shorter ones, but this pedal works well aesthetically. You can see it here. Yeah, it just works out really aesthetically well. Look at that, kind of right in a line. Got some LEDs that come through, very cool. These switches are kind of in the middle of how much downforce is required. So it's easy for me in my hand. The alpha pots are a little harder, and then there's like super soft ones which require almost no torque at all. These feel like a great in between. The finish here, I believe this is powder coated, and I really like, and I'll zoom in here. This is UV printed. This is like really high quality stuff, man. It doesn't feel chintzy or like it's gonna flake off at all. And I thought, after seeing a whole bunch of people in their pictures, that this sort of down here, this handwritten kind of tape mimicking thing here was real tape, but it's not. It's actually UV printed. It's really impressive. He's got what kind of voltage is up at the top. There is a secret voltage doubler inside, or basically you can use an 18 volt if you want. I'll show you that in a second. And it's unadvertised, so it's pretty cool. I really like how he has the option to change the Keeley Katana pre and post. I like pre in the front. That's just me. So this works well, that there's an option for that. And then the Bluesbreaker into the TS, or the TS into the Bluesbreaker. So that's a really cool feature. Definitely a cool feature. The boost of the Keeley Katana on a switch is awesome. It seems to make sense. All right. And the jack here is the kind that I use. They are the ones that really hold that power connector in. Very cool. Back when I was designing my TS10, a lot of traction, a lot of folks were kind of getting into pedal building at the time, still are, obviously. And Jake reached out to me, asked if I had any insight into the right circuit, blah blah blah. So I pointed him in the right direction based on what I knew, and formed a pretty good friendship after that. And I'm all about sharing details. So let's open her up. Or him. Could be neutral. Don't want to offend. Alright. Inside, what we got? Continuum from... how nice. Thanks, Jake. You demand. This is 9 volt. And if you look inside here, there's a little jumper. So I like these hidden features and like these forward compatible sorts of things. He thought ahead on having an 18 volt or 9 volt. Super cool. You see the little charge pump in there. Basically, I believe he is using that charge pump here for the Keeley Katana circuit to feed the rest of the other op amps. So super cool design feature, Jake. I love it. This is pretty cool too. These are nice jacks. These are nice, real nice. And these switches are the jacks up here, the kind that I like. They are the stereo ones that really hold your jacks in place. So good job on that. I really like it. Yeah, socketed op amps, which is great for anyone that wants to mod these sorts of things. And plus, when you're soldering in these chips, you gotta be very careful that you don't overheat the solder or overheat the chip itself. So having a socket is one easy way of doing that. It does sort of like I predicted. Alpha pots, very good. My personal favorite. Super cool. Just super clean circuit board design. Really well done. Really well done. I believe he designed this in Easy EDA. After him and I kind of went back and forth a bit, and he was very cool, very respectful of taking too much of my time, which I was always happy to give. But he just ran with this design, so I pointed him a little bit in the right direction on the TS10, and then boom, he came out not too long later with this design. So these trim pots are for the biasing of the Keeley Katana side of the circuit here. Very cool. All of this is surface mount. It looks like minimal use of the electrolytics. Maybe use the electrolytics where it matters, like on power circuits and things like that. The TS10 is true bypass. It is not buffered. You can sort of tell by a lot of components removed, and there's only the 2 transistors here on that side. So not a bad thing. And I believe, that's the only thing here that would be buffered. So it's not really like a buffered pedal. When you turn on a pedal, it's technically buffering because it's going through the op amp. So that's something to keep in mind. It's very well done, and I believe it is powder coated. Yeah, I can tell from the inside. Super high quality stuff. Very appreciative of your gift here, Jake, at Jumblestomp. Can't wait to try this out. This is not a these React videos are not me playing these pedals. It's actually reacting to the components inside. And I just want to also point out that he's using the upgraded electrolytics here, I believe, on that. So very good quality. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's check out the transistors, the 5458. I believe that's the original transistors or FETs inside the Keeley Katana. So cool. That's a real one. Yep. For the chips inside here, we obviously, for the tube screener, the 5458 or 4558 per original. And here's the 2SC1815. So these are the proper transistors over here. I believe the Blues Breaker has a TL072. Let's see here. It's hard to get the reflection. Yep, TL072 CP. All good. You got the reverse polarity protection down here. Again, the 18 volt, if you jump that up there, which is super cool. And then these switches. So you got, the blue switches, which are definitely the in-between ones for how much downforce is required. All surface mount, going to keep your low noise. And then he does a ground pour, and I believe it's grounded, so all the components, you can tell up here. So so everything is sort of grounded. You're like almost like having internal coax between the two runs. You can see very well spaced out. It looks like he's also utilizing different thicknesses based on the power. So these are power circuits, and they look like a little thicker traces versus the signals, which are thinner, which is fine. That's a good, good eye, Jake, when you were designing that and keeping power requirements in mind as you did that. So, all right, cool. Well, wrapping up my first Pedal Builder Reacts video, which was a very cool pedal. Thank you, Jake. Really appreciate the kind gesture here. For more, subscribe.